So, is there any kind of housekeeping you want to do before we get started?
Um, Not that I can think of.
Okay. So this is gonna be a little, a little down and dirty, but I guess we'll get right to it. So,
Yep.
Dubok, you are a survivor of many tragedies. Um, First, the home which you used to call your own started to become infertile, unable to be farmed anymore, sending you north, hopefully to find something that would better suit the crops that your your family, your kind of people that you were born into better. Unbeknownst to them, they started to rush into more kind of terrifying territory, the demon wastes. Kind of one by one, each night, it was kind of this terrifying stretch of time where people were being picked off by these monsters, these demons, and occasionally it finally left to you and a few younger children, basically. Um, you know how the idea is if you were a fisherman and you pick up like a child, like a child's fish, you're like, okay, I'm gonna throw it back, and maybe I'll get
Mhm.
it next time when it's older.
Yeah.
It's kind of like that principle, and
Okay.
so you guys had traveled up north through the demon wastes. You and kind of like this ragtag group of adolescents, um, eventually getting noticed by the Gosh Kalal of the Gosh Dar, this wandering group of druidic orcs. They're very in touch with nature and kind of themselves, and they actually were guarding something which you didn't know. Um, they told these stories about how the Icehorn Mountains and the Shadow Crags actually prevents those who are truly inherently evil. They don't let it doesn't let them leave. Basically, it's kind of like this childhood story, and so they teach you, kind of raising you up to um, eventually maybe be a guardian of the demon wastes, keeping the demons inside. Around the time of your 12th, maybe 14th birthday, they tell you as a rite of passage that is your job to go hunt, to promote this circle of life, and to do a little bit of a spiritual journey of sorts. You headed off to go slay a boar or some sort of large beast uh, that could possibly you could bring back for food and such. And that's where another tragedy struck. You were abducted by a few members of a faraway religion called the Worshippers of Bane, and most importantly, the Black Hand of Bane. From there, you were abused, treated as a slave, and also taught the worshipping of Bane. Let me know. Let me know if anything isn't correct or needs to be changed. Because this is
No. Yeah. Yeah.
okay.
That's good.
Um, this kind of went on for years, and slowly you began to enjoy the idea of what Bane meant to you, but you thought of it in a different way. And as years went by, how older is Dubok right now?
I said 28.
28. Okay. Um,
I need to fill
I
in
think
some of
this
my stuff.
is so you were probably spent 10 10, 12 years at least there. Your days probably got muddled. You were in this small cultish cave of sorts, um, with iconology relating to Bane and the way of his, which was all about order and war. One of the biggest pieces that you kind of learned about was that he loves the idea of posing power. Um, the internal struggle and the idea of what if that's not how it meant to be? and to change what it means to be. And that thought bounced around your skull for a very long time, just kind of waiting, ready to explode. And eventually, you hear one night the very deep belling voice come to you in the middle of the night, and it just says, bring them to your knee. Fuck. I have not done voices in a while. Let me get back to it. Okay, wait, take two. Here you go. My dearest Dubok, pick up the gauntlet. Your festering thoughts shall be no more. Do what you've always dreamed of. And you would kind of wake in a sweat fever dream, and you would follow through with that order. Going on to pick up the black gauntlet, which was kind of at the kind of this altar in the center of this cave. And you would go on. Somebody would catch you in the act of you putting on the gauntlet, and one after another, you slowly went around murdering everybody with your bare hands and a gauntlet. So, and that brings us to the beginning of your adventure as you slowly walk out of this cave. You covered in blood. What is kind of the how does Dubok look right now? What is the current emotion displayed on his face?
Probably probably a bit zoned out, or not zoned out, but like sort of in a trance, right?
Mm-hmm.
Just coming out of a blood rage. Probably a little excited and happy. So,
Yeah.
Yeah. Uh, out of it, kind of.
Yeah.
But also kind of positive feeling.
Okay. Do you mind just describing to me, like, I see your icon and everything, and I really like it. Can you explain to me if there's any, like, what is the most noticeable thing about him? I see he's bald, but
we did talk about, like, he has a tattoo of, like, black on his right hand, right?
Mm-hmm.
That he got. I mean, he's probably a bit ragged at this point.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know. I'm not sure if he would have any armor at this point, or what his clothing would be like.
So I would probably say that he would have armor.
Yeah.
That he would have at least enough to be able to do something.
Yeah.
I would say that it's not kind of this beautiful donned, plate mail, but it is a nice set of kind of chainmail that goes underneath your kind of more presidential clothes, the black and red robes of Bane.
Yeah.
And so, we're gonna say
no, that was it.
Okay, and now as you kind of clumsily step out of this would be the first time you've like seen actual light. You were kind of living on these what they had brought to you because they were too worried about you just leaving, even after all those tens of years. And so it was a lot of root like food and a ton of this just kind of like rodents, a lot of ground dwelling animals that you fed on. Was kind of like the source of your nutrition. And so now that you have kind of attained your freedom, stepping out of this cave, what would Dubok like to do?
Fuck. Probably.
So I'll say that you're like, actually, can you give me let's do it. First roll. Can you give me a survival check to kind of to maybe even get your bearings?
Yeah.
Like any sort of bearings.
Go. I'm gonna be a little slow at first.
Oh no, I totally understand. Let me know if you need any help with anything.
Normal. Do that right?
Yeah.
Oh boy.
So broadly, you kind of look around. Your sense of time is even really distorted. It's currently this kind of bleak day. There's a lot of clouds in the sky, and it generally feels like this kind of overcast white. You look up, and you're able to find the sun, and you're not entirely sure if it's rising or setting, or on the half. It's either like 10 in the morning or like 5 at night, and you're not entirely sure which one it is. And so you'll probably just have to find out via time, but you just can't tell in the moment. And that's kind of the way that you would tell north, east, southwest.
Okay.
So,
I imagine there's probably not a lot of options as far as like mountain passes go. So I just try to head downhill, I guess.
okay. Can you roll me just like a 1d20 straight?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. That's why I like to call it a luck check.
Okay.
And you were very lucky. You started to head north, to south. South is the way.
Oh, thank God.
Yeah. So you started to head south, and the way that you were, it was kind of more along the lines of like you could either have gone north or south. East and west were. East would have sent you back into the cave. West would send you to kind of more of a higher spire. You start to head down. Now let's talk about walking speed because just getting down the mountain, if we were to say that you were somewhere around here, generally that's a pretty long walk. If you can see my rulers, it's about 50 miles to get down the giant mountain.
I don't know if I do.
If you draw with the ruler, if you hit the player place of controls, I can see it. I think. Wait. Oh, there you go. I can see it. Yeah. So let me get up what you can walk in an average day. We'll go travel distances, travel pace. So a fast pace is per day 30 miles. A normal pace is 24 miles, and a slow pace is 18 miles.
It's 30, 24, 18.
Yeah. So with the fast pace, you'll have -5 penalty to perception scores, but if you're going at a slow pace, you'll be able to use stealth.
Oh.
And so it's 4 miles per hour, by the way, too. So, yeah, it'll be a little bit of time. So,
all right. Perception. So I need to set my pace, I suppose.
Yeah. So are you gonna just go like a either way you want to? So
yeah. Probably medium pace.
okay.
Yeah. Headed
so
downhill.
Yeah, you're going downhill. And it's kind of awkward because it's already kind of more or less difficult terrain, so your miles are going to be a little bit shorter. So you start to head down, and slowly you realize that it is getting darker, and it is slowly becoming night.
Okay.
So you are like halfway down the mountain, getting closer. You clearly only had like half a day. Whatever sleeping cycle you were on, it was just fucked. Um,
Perfect.
yes, exactly what like character. You would find yourself a good chunk down the mountain, and it is starting to head to night. Would you like to keep pushing on, or would you like to try to set up camp?
Uh, what does the terrain kind of look like around me? Is it just all rock,
So
basically?
it's mostly rock. It's kind of like a lot of like looser chunks. Um, are you looking for anything in specific? Uh,
If there's any, um, basically anything other than rock, is there like shrubbery, any wood? Can I make?
um, give me a survival check. Let's just see how lucky you get. Um, looking around for possible stuff. Ugh. So you would find the occasional dry shrub. Um, not currently much. I will say that you have a good chunk of rations though, because you stocked up. You stole everything before you left.
Okay. Alright.
Which is currently the stuff that you have on you right now. So you
Yeah.
have 2 days of rations on you so far, which can be spread over multiple days if you want as well.
If I ration my rations.
Yes, if you ration your rations, you shall be fine. So yeah, what do you want to try to do?
Mm-hmm. Uh, what's our what's the weather like? Is it kind of chilly or rainy or anything?
So it's kind of that summer dry air.
Okay.
Um, it's not typically it's not cold or hot. Maybe it's a little bit on the colder sides because of your high altitude still.
Mm-hmm.
But nothing crazy in the current moment.
Um, Sleeping on my own in the wilderness is kind of scary.
Yeah.
Uh, I I'm going to try to kind of. I'm gonna go to sleep where I'm at, more or less.
Okay.
If I can, I want to kind of get up against like a wall or something, get my back up
Yeah.
against a wall, and maybe
Yeah.
kind of hide a little bit.
Using the survival check from before, you kind of find like a little tiny cave, but your like arm is like sticking out of it. So
All right.
it's more or less like if it were to rain, you wouldn't get soaked. But
Okay.
beyond that, it's not protecting you from anything, and there's no shrubbery to like conceal yourself either.
All right. I'll take it.
Okay. And so you finally go to sleep on your very simple you have a little bedroll that you roll out and you kind of make sure it's flat enough.
Mm.
Okay. You're lucky. A night comes and goes. No special dreams. Maybe you had like a little quirky one, but nothing given to you by Bane, nothing kind of beyond that. So at this point, you're free to do whatever you want. The sun is rising, and now you kind of finally understand that you are going south.
Okay.
Oh, I had to sneeze.
Yeah, I guess I'm just gonna keep going downhill.
Yeah, there's not really much for you to do.
Yeah.
I just wanted you to know that.
Yeah.
Okay. Can you just give me like a constitution check to see how like quick your pace is going down the hill? Okay. You're making an okay pace. Wearing the armor and kind of this is your first time you've moved in a long time this hard.
Yeah.
It's wearing on you, but you're making an average normal pace. You're hitting lunch and you're finally at more or less the base of the mountain. And you're starting to get to more of a grassy, plainy kind of feel. In the very, very distance, you can kind of see the beginning of shrubs green grass and possibly some trees as well.
Do I see any signs of a road or trail of any kind?
No, where you are, you see nothing. Actually, give me a perception check, because you might actually be able to see something.
Perception, not deception.
Okay. Oh, I thought you had better perception than that. Yeah.
Been in the cave too long.
Yeah, your eyes are still very much adjusting. Typically you'll have a little better than that, but that's all right. You kind of strain your eyes a little bit. The sky's very, very bright. It's starting to get a lot more blue than it typically is. But it's nice. It feels very nice. And you really don't see much besides just the kind of the trees in the far distance. So
guess I'll. And I take it it's relatively flat ground.
Yeah.
I'm gonna try to make a fast pace towards the trees.
Okay. I'll say that with that, your perception's a little bit lower, kind of pushing through, and you kind of feel that your chainmail getting on you a little bit. It feels a little heavier, and it is starting to get to night. Starting to get to a little bit more evening as you start to get to the tree line at this point. So,
see. I think looking at my inventory. To have a fire or not? That is the question. I think I'm gonna try to. I think I'm gonna try to make camp or whatever, like just maybe 10-20 meters into the tree line.
Okay.
Like not too deep, but just enough that I'm not exactly visible from the more open areas.
Okay. And as you're setting up your camp, can you give me another perception check?
Yeah.
Shit. Okay, that's awesome. That's exactly what I wanted. As you start to grab, you're yanking branches off of trees. You start to see something in the sky. You kind of rub your eyes a little bit and you strain. I'm going to play some daytime forest and plains calm music. If you can hear anything.
Yeah, I do.
Awesome. You start to hear this kind of whirring too, and as you kind of look up at the sky, it looks like a boat in the sky with these giant sails.
Kind of devilry.
And you see it, and you just start to see it lower into this kind of clearing, and it kind of disappears over the tree line. And you wait a second, and you hear like a very soft poof. And it didn't seem to be falling with any sort of lack of control. It seemed to be very much a controlled landing.
How big did it look?
It looked
I guess there's not a lot of reference points in the sky.
it's very awkward to see, but it had like it was a 3 sail boat.
Okay.
You didn't see anybody like from the position that you were mostly seeing the bottom of it.
Mhm.
It looked like a fairly decent size, but it didn't look massive.
Mhm.
You were able to compare it to some of the trees as it started to land into that clearing, but nothing clearly obvious.
And about how far away did it look like it landed?
Um, about a mile, so
Okay.
not incredibly far. Um, you know,
Can I see anything in that direction through the trees, or is it too
um,
thick?
it's a little bit too thick for you to see it.
Okay. And it's getting evening, right?
Yes, it's starting to get night. It's starting to get very close to night.
I think I'm gonna go to sleep just with my weapon at hand,
Okay,
and without a fire, and
okay,
just make note of what direction that was.
awesome. So, so this one, are you going to try to be like as stealthy as you can for the night?
Yeah.
Okay,
I don't want to splay out too much.
okay. Are you gonna sleep with your armor on?
Sure.
Okay, give me a stealth check. And this one you can roll straight. Typically, you roll them with disadvantage because you're wearing heavier armor. But because you're staying completely and totally still, I'll say you can just roll a normal roll. Okay. Let's find out. Okay. 30 minutes pass, and you slowly get your bedroll up. You're able to kind of push yourself um, into some bushes, kind of underneath the thicket of it.
Mm.
Um, and you start to hear the very soft steps of a very heavily armored person whistling to themselves. Like, you hear a crunch of a branch. Just kind of seeming to be gathering materials and supplies for their camp.
Mm.
You only hear one set of footfalls. And currently in your thicket, you probably can't see through it too well to this person. Um, is there anything you'd like to do? Or...
Um, I'm gonna be noisy as shit if I try to get up. Wearing fucking mail armor, surrounded or whatever, surrounded by bushes. I think. Does it sound like they're? I presume they're. Mm.
Do you want to learn if they're like coming towards you or just like in the general direction? Or just like kind of generally looking around in the current moment?
Yeah, I want to perceive them as much as I can without
Yep.
moving.
Okay, roll another perception check.
Uh,
Okay. It's hard to read because all the bushes and thickets are around your head, so it's blurring your hearing a little bit. Um, but it doesn't feel like they're coming specifically towards you. And you can kind of hear this heavier set of plate mail kind of walking around.
mm,
You can slowly feel your heart beating a little faster and faster. Kind of, it's more about like what you think you can hold yourself in a fight, but do you really want to fight right now? Are you
yeah,
ready to take on another person?
I am going to try to lay still and wait for them to pass. Unless it sounds like they're getting really close.
Okay. I'll say give me another stealth check. Let's see how you do. I'm making you roll a lot of checks, but that's okay.
Good practice for me.
Okay, yeah. And we can get you some new dice too when you're done.
Yeah.
You get some pretty dice. You hear. You hear like a. Huh? And you hear like a branches above your head slowly start to move.
Jesus.
Is this person dead? You know, as he looks and you move, you see this this hand move away a bunch of the thicket next to your face, and you're assuming your eyes are open, you're face to face with what looks to be this half elf, kind of towering man. He looks towering because you're laying down, and he's got this giant thick beard, and these kind of very blue eyes just staring at you. And he goes, "Oh, sorry to disturb your slumber. Looks cozy down there." He'll like slowly place the thicket back down, and he goes, he'll like step away a bit and kind of go, I've got kind of a camp if you want to spend the night. I don't get much company. And he's saying this as he's kind of turned around, just kind of like talking outwardly as people do when they're in an awkward situation.
Yeah. Did I get a good look at what kind of armor he was wearing, or?
Yeah. It's plate. It is. Okay. It is very ornate, beautiful plates. There were some insignias on it. If you want, you can roll religion to find out more about it.
Sure.
Maybe you've heard of them.
It's my expertise. Apparently not.
No, apparently not. You have not. You're missing it. You've been taught similar religion here, but it's very different than what Bane and kind of the general idea of his is. So,
I am going to try to very slowly lean up with both my hands visible.
Yeah.
I want to leave my mace at my side or whatever.
Yeah.
Despite my gauntlet.
Yeah. But right now your gauntlets are normal. Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
And I'm going to. You said he looked half elf.
Yes. So he's got Okay, can I do this? I thought. How do I show only you? Because I don't want to show everybody. I just want to show you. I'll do this.
Okay.
Do you see that?
Yep.
Yeah. So he kind of looks very rugged. He's got like half of his hair in front of his eyes, half of it pulled up into this kind of a bun in the back. He's kind of got this cloak that's kind of underneath his armor that's keeping him what seems to be warm.
Then I'm going to, raising my hands slowly and whatnot. And as I'm going to speak softly if I can, in Orcish, saying that would be nice. If you don't mind.
Let's see if he speaks Orcish. And he kind of leans back, looks around, and goes, "Oh, that makes sense. You're in wastes, and all that." He would take basically out of his bag. He's got kind of like a little side bag, and he would start to walk over, and he pulls out basically what is this kind of wrapped up. He would slowly unwrap this object and present it to you, and you notice that it's like salted meats. And you kind of put it right in front of your hand, right in front of your face. like
so
not like
tempted
shoving
to-
it in his face,
Yeah,
like handing it to you if you want, like as
Yeah.
a sign of good faith.
Yeah, I'm so tempted to just grab it with my teeth. Uh, um, fuck. I am going to slowly take it and sort of nod my head towards him and say thank you in Orcish
Mhm. Um,
and stand up, I guess, if I'm not already.
yeah, you slowly get up and
Yeah.
um, yeah, you're about eye level with him. I think you've got about an inch or two on him.
All right.
And so he's kind of just looks at you and he nods and he slowly starts to head his way to his camp.
I don't know if I said this. Sorry, or
Oh.
I don't know how we want to do about retro. I forgot to say this.
Oh no, you're fine.
Was thank you and what's your name?
In Orcish?
Yeah.
Okay, he would kind of look at you and go, he says in common, go, I'm sorry, I do not speak believe orc.
Okay. Good.
But you know, and he kind of like motions to the camp and just starts to head that way.
All right. I'm gonna pick up my shit and follow him.
Okay.
Keeping my distance behind him somewhat.
Okay. And so as you kind of follow him, you notice, looking at his back, he's got kind of a pack that's very very simple, and he's got a glaive on his back. This beautiful two-handed silver kind of spear-like thing. The glaives look fucking dope as shit, and I love them.
Yeah.
And so he has that kind of on his back, and he's got like a hand axe on each hip that kind of jingle as he walks. And so you notice that he's, even though he kind of looks scruffy, like he hasn't had a haircut in like a fat minute, he still is very kept, like he's been cleaning and he's been taking care of himself. He would bring you into this clearing where a tent's already set up. There's a fire and it seems to be going. And he comes back and he lets the twigs that he was holding down, and he throws a couple on the fire. And there's like two of these smaller like logs kind of that he set down, and he sets one down for you and he invites you to sit.
How far did we travel? Did we travel in the direction of the ship?
Yes. So you would notice that like he isn't currently like set up camp right next to the ship. It's like there's let me just show you the map. I'm going to let you look at this map. Just, so can you see the forest knight next to the map of Khyber?
Yep, I'm loading it.
You don't see anything, right? Probably.
Correct. I do not own any token vision, something or other. So
okay. Does this work?
Oh, here we are.
Do you see a flickering campfire?
I sure do.
That's awesome. Okay.
Oh,
so,
yeah. Nice.
Yeah. So there's a flickering campfire, and it's now night. There's a beautiful little creek which he goes over and kind of grabs a tin cup, like dipping it in and then taking a sip, filling up a water skin as well. And the clearing to the left of the map, which would basically be west, I'll say, is you can kind of see bits and pieces of wood of his ship that he was that he might be flying. So
okay.
You actually see that he kind of takes off one of his gloves, one of his more or less gauntlets, and kind of like starts to like play with a little bit of his armor. Can you give me a perception check?
Yes.
Okay, you see a glittering shimmer of something dancing on his skin a little bit. But nothing crazy. Just something different was on his skin. And you can't really fully tell what it was.
Yeah.
And at this point, he sits down and he starts to get something out of another pack, and he starts to set up basically 2 sticks, start cooking food, getting out this little metal thing, putting it over the fire, roasting some what seems to be meat.
Mm-hmm.
So,
can I want to try and sort of like walk slowly towards the water, maybe like fill up a canteen or something at the water, but in doing so kind of try to take a peek towards the inlet of his tent.
Okay, before you go in and you look into the tents, and it's got a bedroll. I'll say with your perception, you're very good at understanding kind of what you got good eyes. You got pretty good eyes.
Especially at night.
Yeah. As a human, yeah. And you're kind of your eyes are pretty set for night. So you look inside, you see a bedroll, you see probably a backpack of sorts in there. Can you give me actually a perception check though? Beyond, let's see if you see anything beyond that. It's a pretty good roll.
Yeah.
I'll say that you see like a couple smaller bags, and a map is kind of like poking out of one of the bags. You can see, but beyond that, he kind of notices that you're looking, and he kind of like takes a corner of it and kind of throws it back. Actually, you're being pretty sneaky with this, so I won't say that he probably won't. He probably doesn't do much. He probably just notices that you're filling up some water, and
he's just trying to be sneaky.
Yeah.
Or whatever.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know, and yeah, he'd probably go into the tent, pulling back one of the flaps, and would actually mess with something. He'd actually grab a map and pull it out.
Okay.
And so he'd go over to the log and pull the map out, and he would point to where you guys are on the map and kind of point it at you. If you want to go back to the map of Khyber, you would point to you right here-ish.
Gotcha.
Yeah, so it's just a general direction. And he goes, he does this signing thing where he points at the map, and actually I'm going to look at the map a little more. He's going to point, and he's going to go to point out himself, and he's going to drag his hand from the top down,
Shit.
here.
Okay.
And then he goes like this, you know, and he goes you, and then he kind of points, and he points at like this one right here, and he points at ship. He's like, and he gives you a shrug.
Okay.
One insight check to figure out what he's trying to tell you, because he's not talking because he doesn't know Orcish. Feel free to roll for it.
All right.
He is going to let you. He's going to drop you off basically at Rote if you want it. He's flying by it, and has to make a stop there, and he's giving you something, and he pulls out like a little letter, and he kind of pulls out what seems to be a ticket, and he hands it to you. And looking on it, you can read in common if you take it. It says from Rote to Isharn, Lightning Rail, House Orion. Ticket. And
Lightning Rail?
Lightning Rail. And so it's from Rote to Sharn, which is the place that he's going is Rote, and he's offering to drop you off there, basically. And he says, he's like, I don't know if you understand common, but this, you know, you seem like a strong man, and the demon wastes is bad. The Elding reaches are bad. So if you want this, feel free to have it. I don't know. So you seem like you've kind of got nowhere to go. I know that lake when I see it.
You said Sharn?
To Sharn, from Road to Sharn.
Yeah, I'm just looking at the map. Is Sharn supposed to be where Rukon Drawl is?
No, Sharn is
Or
right here.
I might be missing it. Gotcha.
So it's following this little trail right here.
Gotcha.
Yep.
You said House Vorhair?
House Orion.
Orient. Oh my god.
That's
That's a fucking 40k reference.
Oh. Yeah.
Vorhair is good shit in my head.
Yeah.
House
So House
Orion.
Orion is it said that on the ticket itself. So that's
Alright.
what the ticket read out to. It said from Road to Sharn, House Orion Lightning Rail. A mission 1 basically.
From Road to Sharn. Lightning Rail. House Orion. Okay. Do I have any insight on what the fuck House Orion is?
Yeah. Give me a history check. Awesome. There are people who are marked, these dragon marked houses. So basically, these dragon marked houses are 12 in general, and they all do different things. In your general information sheet that I gave you, it details what every single dragon marked house is.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah, no, I expected it. It's
Yeah.
a lot of information, and so I'll be surmising it as we go. But it is something you generally wouldn't know if you were in the situation you were. There would have been probably a few people in your original village, that were marked. These beautiful purple glowing marks, which each house has their different representation of what they can do, and they kind of got cornerstones in what they're able to do. So he has one. That's what you saw on him.
That's with the shimmering, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And House Orion focuses on transportation. Or, no, they focus on... Fuck. House Lyrindar is the one that is the house of ships and stuff. But House Orion is an awkward one. House Orion is the Mark of Passage, which is awkward, but that's alright.
Gotcha.
So, yeah, they do a lot more like ground-based, whereas House Lyrindar does a lot more air and sea style.
It's interesting.
Yeah.
It's interesting that he's a real ticket despite having a flying ship.
Yeah. If only you could ask why.
Yeah. Let's see. Logistically, I'm trying to figure out. So, like, I'm sitting down with him at the fire, right?
Yeah, if you want to.
I'm trying to figure out. Am I unable to move myself? That's you.
Oh, you can't move it?
I'm just not sure if I know.
So above the ruler one, too, there's just the general select tokens.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just experiment real quick.
Does clicking and dragging not work?
It's the.
Did you hit
select targets?
The one above that. Select tokens.
Select tokens. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Right.
So that means that you're selecting that target, which means it's kind of useful for like, who am I gonna hit? Basically.
Okay.
There. Yeah.
There we go. All right. Cool. Let's see. Have I seen any weapon? Or I saw the glaive on him. That's right.
The glaive and the two antaxes that he has on him.
Yeah. uh, I think. Let's see. Let me look at the map again. Um, I
What?
I'm trying to think of how to hand gesture this. Um, I'm okay. You know what? I'm gonna start off. Wait, he gave me his name, right? Or did
No.
he didn't because he doesn't fucking speak Turkish.
Yeah.
I'm going to pound my chest and say Dubok, then sort of gesture towards him.
Oh, he goes, oh, Dubok. Good to meet you, Dubok. He points himself. He's going to replicate your gesture, actually. He's going to pound on his chest as well.
Yeah.
In the same way. And he's going to go, au revoir.
Sure.
You want to help me spell that?
Sure.
Yeah. A-O-A-R-O
Okay.
A-V-O-R. Au revoir.
Or okay. Cool.
Something like that. Au revoir, au revoir.
Close enough.
Piece of shit. Yeah.
I know what we mean. Cool. Here, let me look at my inventory. Should I have gotten rid of one of my rations?
You can. He gave you another one. He gave you meat. So.
Okay, cool. That works.
Yeah. Oh.
Go ahead.
No, you go first.
I want to sort of with a quizzical look gesture towards his the like seals on his armor, the sigil, the symbols. So sort of quizzically looking.
He's gonna like pull down his gauntlet again, fix it. He's going to show you the actual thing. So let me show you what it would actually look like. Dragon. Let's see which one, because they look very different.
Okay.
Yeah. It would look like. I don't have the. Looks like the one on the top, and so it'd be on the top of his forearm, on the back side.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah, the top one, not the bottom one.
This is the markings on his skin.
Yes.
Okay.
And so they kind of softly glow.
Okay.
And so what he would do is he would actually stand up. He would grab like a leaf off the ground. He would take it, throw it up in the air, and he would take his hand and then kind of flick his palm at it, and you would see it shoot up into the air like 100 feet.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Dang. Is that you? No,
and then he'd point back at it, his symbol.
Okay. Sorry, I might have misunderstood. Does he have marks on his armor as well, or is just his skin?
Just the arm. Sorry.
Okay.
Just on his forearm.
Gotcha. All right. Do I recognize these symbols in any association? Or wait, I already did that, right?
Yeah. You don't know.
Yeah,
a lot of it is kind of all of the symbols. Let me just show you what the symbol looks like. It would be on his chest area, and he would have like a cloak of sorts, and so it would look like a silver arrowhead. That kind of has this beautiful little flame kind of growing out of it, and so that'd be kind of on his chest.
Okay.
Yeah.
I am going to check. I'm going to point at me, say Dubok, point at him, say Orivar, then point at the symbol on his arm. Looking kind of questioning. Sorry, what?
He says storm.
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 Can,
Um,
can you give me a rough spelling?
oh, it's just storm.
Oh, storm. Gotcha.
Storm. Yeah.
Okay.
He would stand up and he has this cloak and he kind of like stands heroically and it seems like billow. Clearly he's doing something that's making it billow.
Yeah. All right. Gotcha.
And then he points back to the mark and sits down again. He's trying to humor you. He's trying to be a nice guy because it's a little awkward.
Yeah. Okay. 1 second. I need to look at my common knowledge notes. That could make him possibly Lyrandar. Oh, and if he's a half elf, yeah.
Yeah. So one of the things you know is you really can't go outside the like you're basically if you're half elf you have to be one of those two houses. So
Gotcha.
yeah.
Okay.
Give me your perception check.
Okay.
As you're thinking to yourself about all these houses and stuff.
Let's see. Attributes. Perception. Sweet.
Yeah, we'll see what he gets. Okay. Pretty good. That's even better. Shit. He grabs your hands and looks at you, and he pulls out his glaive. He points to the tree line, and you see these red, glowing eyes looking back at you, coming out from around the bushes and around the trees.
Okay, so multiple pairs.
Yes. There's about 4 sets of eyes in total.
Okay. Are they low to the ground, high to the ground?
They're low to the ground, and they're pretty small beasts.
Okay.
I would like you to go up to the top right, and do you see next to the chat icon? Right-click the combat tracker, and it pops out. We are going to go into a very simple combat.
Okay.
Everybody, so now do you see your Duncan character? I'll fix that.
Okay.
For the future. Combatant. Dubok. And you'll hit the roll button, basically.
Okay.
That is a pretty good roll. You rolled really shitty. Okay. You ready to start some combat?
Yep.
Okay. Starting off will be
Oh boy.
Yeah. Let's see what their distance is. They can move. That's pretty good. So what's going to happen is going to go. One's going to jump out from underneath the tree line and is going to start to dash towards Orivar, and it is going to make a. It is going to try to bite at him. Fuck. Okay. He lands a bite. You actually see it like chomp into his armor and kind of dent it a little bit, and then go up to it using its claws. You can see that these are velociraptors, and it gets him. He's obviously caught off guard, and it cuts up him as he kind of turns around and looks at him with the glaive in hand. Okay.
All right.
Man, these things rolled so much better than you guys. That one over there is only gonna go. Yeah, it's gonna go to you. One is going to start dashing through you through the tree line. So is well, and he's not going to be able to do anything. It's just gonna get close to you.
Okay.
Same thing as the other one. They're going to dash towards you. This one can get to right here. and get close to you as well. Actually, they're gonna go back 10 feet, and they're not gonna do anything. They're just gonna hold their turns. Okay. What do you want to do? Because you're next. You're up.
Okay. One second. I need to read this. Okay. Like, do I have common knowledge that these are like abnormal things to find out in the wild? Like,
No,
is it strange to find velociraptors?
So, dinosaurs are pretty real in Eberron.
Okay.
And so you just got velociraptors as the one.
Okay.
They just look like normal, typical beasts. You've probably even seen one or two before you headed up to the Demon Wastes.
Okay. Kind of like wolves or whatever.
Yeah, basically they're more jungle-esque, foresty wolves.
Cool. Can I? Oh, fuck. I need to read my shit. Am I? Is this time sensitive, or can I sort of read through some of my shit?
Oh yeah, the other one of them else will go. He's going to go though.
Can I cast? Okay, yeah, gotcha. Can I cast thaumaturgy on the campfire and try to like expand the flame upwards to like make it really intimidating looking?
Awesome. Okay. What I want you to do is I want you to roll a 1d20 plus your wisdom modifier, so +3, and I want to see how much arcane power you can put into this thaumaturgy to see if it catches them off guard enough to like run away.
To do that, would I just?
You would just go to the bottom right in the chat, and then you can just hit 1d20 and then add 3 to that.
Okay.
Or you can always just hit. Actually, the better thing that you can do is click on in your attributes tab wisdom itself. It'll ask you what type of wisdom check, ability check, or saving throw, and then you'll click either one.
Okay. Then. Okay. Like that.
Yes, exactly like that. And now they're going to. You're basically intimidating them.
Yeah.
And so they're going to roll against that to see if you're, because this isn't real. You're actually not making the fire bigger. You're just making the fire seem bigger.
Okay.
We do that 4 times. Holy shit, they're rolling bad. Okay. You start to see the one right next to Orvar start to just fucking book it. Like, turn heel and run. And so as soon as he leaves around 10 feet, Orvar is going to be able to take his glaive and stab at it.
Sweet.
And he rolled a nat fucking 20. Did you hear that? Did you hear the sound?
No, but I was not in the combat menu or whatever.
Oh, no, it's fine. He rolled literally the best he could. You watch as he leaves the area of Orvar, he instantly gets impaled. Like literally, like butt out mouth, like stabbed through all the way, completely, just dead, just straight up dead on his thing. And he kind of looks back and he goes, "I guess we're eating raptor tonight." And he kind of like tosses the body limpless onto the ground. This other one to the right of you, like seeing you take your hands and like force the fire to grow, is going to also bail.
Okay.
So you made 2 of them bail.
Sweet.
Oh shit! Sorry, I didn't want to do it. And it's going to leave the combat and then fuck off. But there's still 2 more left.
Okay.
So.
Now I'm gonna, I guess, equip or like pick up my the hand axe and the mace from my sides, I guess.
Yeah. Okay. So you'll have mace in one hand, hand axe in the other.
Yep.
Awesome. And so they're kind of ready. Is that the end of your turn?
Then I want to try to head towards engaging the top right Velociraptor.
Look over and move yourself. However you want.
Will it automatically restrict me for how far I can move?
No, it'll just tell you how far you can move, which is 30 feet.
Okay. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
If I'm in the same square as him, that means like we're hugging, basically, right?
Yeah, and you can't really do
So-
that. You
so
might be able to do
combat.
it with this guy because he's so small, but yeah, usually just on the outside of him.
Like that would be good.
Yeah.
Okay. Then go like that, right?
Yeah. I mean, yeah, you don't have to.
Yeah.
It's,
Yeah.
yeah.
It's visual. Yeah.
Yeah. So,
Right.
Au revoir is going to take his turn, assuming you're done. He's going to...
Yeah, unless I have enough moves to fucking whack him.
No, because Thaumaturge is used in your action, so you use...
Yeah.
So it's action, bonus action, and movement, and then also free action.
Okay.
Unless you have something you want to do with your bonus action, which you could do the... in your spells, the top 3 are bonus actions.
Okay. Sorry, just making notes. Spell book. Oh yeah, cantrips. Yeah, no.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna get ready.
Au revoir is going to take his glaive, because he is using a glaive. He can stand out 10 feet.
Yeah.
It's actually pretty fucking cool, and he's going
Big
to...
fucking form.
Yeah, yeah, it's awesome. And he's going to attempt to attack this one.
Go.
And... Yeah. Oh, God. He rolls really shittily. So... You watch as he cuts into it. He basically takes it, slashes against the face. You see the jaw kind of go a little bit limp. And he takes the other one, slashing against its one of its arms, cutting it completely off. And is just hanging on for dear life at this point. The Velociraptor is dead up there. We're going to remove it from combat. And the one right in front of you is going to attempt to attack at you.
Okay.
With a bite. And a claw. Okay. What you do is you actually grab one of the hand axes and you shove it into its mouth. Taking your mace and kind of pushing the other arm away as it tries to claw against you. You completely deny anything against this little Velociraptor. Knowing that it is completely outmatched, everybody's either dead or, you know, what, and he probably can't kill you. He's going to leave. So if you would like, you can use your opportunity attack on him. So that means...
Alright, go
ahead. So you can use for you, specifically, the Black Gauntlet of Bane allows you to use even a spell if you want as a reaction, as long as it's one action.
Yeah. I just want to fucking try to throw my hand axe into the back of the fleeing Velociraptor.
Okay.
Oh, oops.
I'll say that because... I'll say that it'll get like 10 feet away. But yes, you can totally throw your hand axe.
That would be... Do I just...
So you'll click on hand axe.
There we go, then... Attack first.
Yeah. And we'll see if it hits. That does hit.
Okay, sweet. Then...
Damage.
We roll for damage, yep.
You watch as it, like, domes the back of the neck. It's kind of, like, stuck in as it starts to limp. But it just keeps pushing on.
God damn it.
5 more feet. But it seems to do a good chunk of damage. I'm gonna see if let's see if it falls out. And you hear a very soft fall of the hand axe falling out of the Velociraptor as it's 30 feet away from you. It is now your turn again, so...
Okay. And I can close 30 feet, right?
Yeah, you can totally close 30 feet from where you are.
That would be movement.
Yeah, and you also have ranged spells, too.
I do, but I don't want to show off my magic too much to him. I was very hesitant about the thaumaturgy to begin with. But
yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna just try to close on it and fucking whack it in the back with the mace.
Okay.
So.
Yep.
Let's see.
Yeah.
Mace.
Your giant staggered form chases after this velociraptor. You see its like legs Looney Tunesing, trying to run away from you right now. It's bleeding from the back of its neck. And you take the mace upon its head. Roll for damage.
Alright.
It is so close. You smash into it. You actually see like a bunch of its long, gnarly teeth fall out. And it's terrified. It looks up to you in mortal terror at this point. Is that the end of your turn? Do you have anything you want to do?
Fuck.
It is extremely close to being dead.
Yeah. I'm trying to remember what I'm capable of. It's scared. Fuck. Yeah. Would it? It would be an action to like try to kick it over, right, or to trip it. I would imagine.
Yeah, it'd be like that's like a fighter thing.
Yeah. So. Yeah. I guess. Oh. That's the end of my turn, I guess.
The other Velociraptor is going to attempt to run, and he is going to get opportunity attack again to stab him with his glaive. And he hits, and he skewers this one as well. He's incredibly strong, if you can't tell.
Okay.
Yeah, you don't think you could take him in a fight.
Not a fair fight.
In a fair fight, yeah. He's going to watch you for his turn,
Okay.
cleaning off his glaive, and see what you do. It is now the Velociraptor's turn. He's going to leave again. What would he like to do?
Can I be creative with this?
Oh, actually, would he do that? I'll give it to you. Typically, they can disengage, which is what I would have them do. But no, I'm gonna give it to you. I'll let you show off.
All right. Trying to think. So it doesn't really have any. Its mouth is a fucking mangled, so biting, I imagine, is probably not a threat.
Yeah.
Or at least not a significant one.
It's not like a, but it's also like the cornered dog is the most terrified. Most terrifying thing.
Yeah. Fuck. Okay. Yeah. I want to. How big is this thing? Like, is it the size of a dog, or?
It's like a little taller and a little wider than the size of a dog.
Okay. What's my dex? Okay. I'm gonna try to basically fuck it, it's wrestling move, I think. Anyways, I'm gonna try to basically jump down on it and basically whack both of my fists down on it and like try to fucking bludgeon it with my fists.
Ooh. Oh, okay.
So I want to drop my mace while I'm doing this.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so are you just using your gauntlets as is?
Yeah,
or
yeah, but I don't want to activate my gauntlet if that's possible.
Okay. Yeah, it'll just be a normal unarmed strike then.
Alright.
Which you should have in your inventory. No, you don't. So just roll a d20 plus 2 for your strength.
D20. Can I just do this? Did that work? Okay. Oh
Yeah.
God.
So yeah, as you go to punch into it, it just dodges. It completely moves out of the way.
Okay, and I'm just on my fucking face.
And you kind of trip and fall out of the way, and the Velociraptor gets away. It's like 60 feet away now at this point.
All right.
So
I guess I'll just pick up my mace and axe and walk back towards him.
Yeah. Okay, that is combat over. And you see him currently. He's currently like taking one of the skewered velociraptors. There's actually two, and tossing them onto the fire,
All
one
right.
by one. He's gonna go. We're going to eat good tonight. He's gonna give you a thumbs up.
All right, sweet. Then I guess I will do this. I guess I'll chuckle along with him.
Mm-hmm.
Or fuck, do I? That might reveal that I kind of know what he's saying, but
Yeah.
No.
Well, I mean,
yeah, I'll smile. I'll smile. I won't laugh
Yeah.
outright. And nod. I do want to make a point of while we're preparing the wrap. Or actually, no, I don't. Yeah. I guess we'll just eat.
okay. He's very quiet. He understands that you can't talk, and you don't seem to be one of talking in the first place. And
Yeah.
you guys eat quietly, enjoying your meal.
Can I take a bathroom break real quick?
If you want, we're like really close to done too. So.
Oh, okay. Never mind. I can hold out
Yeah.
then. Let's see. So we're eating. Fuck. Okay, yeah. So, I sort of gesture for him to pull out the map again, like sort of gesture my hands as like pulling the scroll or like
Yeah.
I point towards the map or whatever.
He would pull the map out for you, and
Alright.
then kind of like he would watch you very carefully, but he would let you look at it.
Okay. Then I want to sort of look at the map real quick. So we're up there. We're headed towards the road. I want to point. I want to point out to him. How do I show you this? Does that work? How did you do the pointing on the map? Is it a
B, I
GM
think.
thing? B?
Let me double check. X. Sorry, X.
X. Okay, sweet.
I can also
I
see
wanna-
your pointer, so don't worry about
Oh
it.
yeah, that's right. Yeah. Well, I'm gonna point to this town.
Mm-hmm.
Point to me, then point to this town instead of road itself. Kind of look at him questioningly. Can you drop me off there?
Yeah, he would kind of understand what you mean, and you go, give you a shrug and go, give you a nod.
Okay, sweet. All right, and I'll hand the map back to him.
Okay. And for the sake of expediency, you guys go to bed. Let's wake up.
Sweet.
You guys take your turns. It's pretty quiet. It's pretty simple. He kind of actually sets one of the charred raptors up on a stick, kind of generally out, and you think that deters the most of the unfriendlies in the area.
Mm-hmm.
And so after that, he is going to. Would you like to ride on his airship? He's going
this
to
is the morning, right?
Yeah. He's going to try to let you bring over to the airship. Bring you over to the airship and stuff.
Sure. 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 Yeah.
Okay. I figured that you're just gonna be interested in that because if he's dropping you off, you need to be in the airship,
Yeah.
And so he'd bring you to the airship, which is this kind of nice, very simple, modest airship. It's very interesting flying for your first time. It's terrifying, and he seems to be really, really good at it. A little bit later goes by, and you find yourself a few days later. You guys occasionally take stops. He doesn't talk to you much because he doesn't know Orc, but he tries to learn Orc through you, giving you general easy talk, and he tries to teach you Common a little bit.
Yeah.
It's funny because you're like, I know common, and you have to
Yeah.
pretend to be bad at common. Can you actually give me a deception check to see if you can hold up the ploy the whole entire time?
Sure.
Oh.
Deception. Alphabetical. That's right.
Let's see. Nice. Yeah, he doesn't understand. You've lived with the orcs a long time. Your orc is a little bit rusty, but you don't think he notices at all, actually.
Sweet.
Yeah, and so he will bring you to Gaelith Spire, and he will hand you a small note, basically written in common that says, let me get the name out. He had written it obviously a while ago, and it would say, he'd basically hand it to you and be like, he would say, it would say in common on it, like, one of the things you probably would learn is how to say, like, translator. Find a translator. Basically tell you to find an orc that knows common as well. Over the few days, that's what he would tell you.
Okay.
And so it was generally pretty nice and stuff like that. So he lands you, he takes you to Gaelith Spire, this kind of dock-like area. It's peaceful. And he would kind of wave you away. But on the note it says, go find a Sergeant Germain Villeroy of the Sharn Watch. Sergeant.
Go find Sergeant. Sorry, what was it?
Germain Villeroy.
Villeroy. Of the what watch?
Sharn Watch.
Sharn Watch.
Yeah. And then on the back it'd have a little letter. It'd be like, dear Sergeant Germain, I've received your letters. I appreciate everything you've done for me. I'm unfortunately on my own mission, and I cannot be able to afford my time to you. This is a man I met on my way. He's incredibly good with a mace and seems to be able to take his own in a fight. He bested many a velociraptor and kind of playing you up a little bit. Like, he obviously doesn't want to do whatever he's assigned to do, so he's like, okay, take this fucking random dude I found. And he goes, and he kind of writes in like a little bit at the end. He goes, and he might have a little bit of magic inside of him. And that's basically what it says. And it's signed Orivor de Lenindar. And so it's D apostrophe Lirindar.
All right, sweet.
So now you are in Gaelith Spire. Are you just going to head to... Oh, and he also is going to give you 10 gold pieces.
Oh, shoot.
He's going to give you a little bag with 10 gold pieces. Which... Yeah. I'll say that you just have 10 now. You probably would have 25. So I'll give you... You have 35 gold. That'll get you started. So... in the inventory, there's a currency tab.
Yeah. So, inventory.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. So 35 now.
Yep. So you find yourself in Gaelith Spire. Are you going to head to Rote, or are you going to do something else?
I'm gonna price horses.
Look for horses.
Yeah. I'll speak common here.
Okay. You were able to find a...
look for a stable.
Yeah. I'm looking for... how much a horse would cost. Item. draft horse.
Maybe not even a horse, or just like a mule if it's cheaper.
A horse would cost 50 gold pieces.
Okay.
If not more. It's probably a little expensive here. It's a little bit out of your price range, and horses are most likely the only thing that you have. You could also get a ride from a carriage. It's pretty normal. Actually, from Gale Spire to Rhodes, it is a ferry across.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably be a bad idea to try and steal a horse than cross a ferry.
Yeah.
On a stolen horse. Yeah. Let's see. Is there anything else? Yeah, I guess I'll just head to Rote then.
Okay.
I do want to go on foot though, not by carriage.
Okay.
I'll save my money.
Yeah, you find. Well, I'll say that with you finding rations, the whole expedition will take 2 gold pieces. Getting
good.
on the ferry and all that, that'll take a 2 solid gold pieces. But you find yourself en route, taking yourself to the station for the next train to Sharn, which will be in session 1 next week.
Excellent.
Yes. So how's your first step back into it?
Good. Yeah.
He had a lot to talk about if you were going to talk to him. But no, I love that.
Yeah.
So
I won't trust that motherfucker.
you don't trust shit.
He's got pointy ears.
Yeah. Fucking elves. I hate them.
Yeah.
Awesome.